Wakey, wakey, everyone. It's another fabulous...
And now it's time for Famous Britons, the show in which Jack Worthing... And now it's time for Famous Britons, the show in which Jack Worthing, that's me, interviews some of our more celebrated countrymen from history. Now today, we have in our studio Her Majesty Queen Mary, fondly known to history as Bloody Mary for massacring Protestants and marrying a Spaniard. And don't confuse me with... And now it's time for Famous Britons, the show in which Jack Worthing, that's me, interviews some of our more celebrated countrymen from history. Now today, we have in our studio Her Majesty Queen Mary, fondly known to history as Bloody Mary for massacring Protestants and marrying a Spaniard. And don't confuse me with Mary Queen of Scots either. I'll be very cross. Ah, no, of course not, Your Majesty. But she was an idiot. And your sister Elizabeth had her beheaded, didn't she? Jack, that vixen Elizabeth. Do you know, I should have had her head cut off. But I didn't, because I'm a kind and merciful person. By the way, Jack, are you Catholic? Actually, I'm Anglican, like most people here. Oh dear. I think we better put you down for a beheading. After the interview, perhaps? You could convert? That sounds much more jolly. Oh dear. You sound disappointed. Well, Jack, you've no idea how a good beheading can cheer one up. Well, I don't know about that. Have you tried joy? Joy? What's that? Well, it's this marvellous pill that makes you forget all the bad things and feel wonderful about everything else. Jack, what rubbish. What kind of queen is happy all the time? Do you know, the few times I was happy, I barely cut anyone's head off at all. Well, surely there's more to life than just beheading people. Well, we did try beheading goats for a while, but, well, it wasn't quite the same, was it? Well, what about fun and family and love? I am married to King Philip of Spain. Ah, well, you're in a bit of a jam then, aren't you? Well, fortunately, I'm dead. Well, that is one way to solve one's problems, isn't it? Jack's been lovely chatting, but I really must be off. Someone's saying my name 3 times into a mirror. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Her Majesty Queen Mary. If only she'd had joy, she might not have beheaded quite so many people. Now ask your doctor if joy is right for you. Of course it is. Next week on Famous Britons, I'll be interviewing St. Thomas a Becket. I hear he's turbulent. Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in later for more Uncle Jack. Wakey, wakey, everyone. It's another lovely day in Wellington Wells. Now, in case... Welcome to Strange Foreign Customs, the show where Jack Worthing, that's me, tells you all about the bizarre and ridiculous things people do in other countries. And now it's time for the Uncle Jack Etiquette Minute. You may be wondering, how can I fit in better in Hamlin Village? Well, it's easy. To get along, go along. If someone tells you it's a lovely day, agree with them. Because of course, it's always a lovely day in Hamlin Village, so don't be afraid of talking to people first. They'll appreciate it. Now, I'm assuming, of course, that you're decently dressed. Clothes make the man, eh? Indeed, naked people have almost no influence at all in society. And don't dress in rags either, or people might think you're a wastrel. Now, what should you do if people are staring at you? Maybe they're asking you if you remember to take your joy. Who cares? Just pop another, and they'll congratulate you and go on about their day. And if things seem to be getting a bit hectic, remember, you can always sit on a bench, relax, and open the Hamlin au Courant. Take a load off. No one will bother you when you're sitting on a bench, unless you've made them very angry, well, or I don't know, watch Jack Worthing on television. He's very good. Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in tomorrow for another Etiquette Minute with Jack Worthing. Let's move on. And welcome to today's edition of Well, 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 the show where we talk about how to be your physical best. Now, some of you have written in about feeling malaise and lethargy. Now, these are vague symptoms, and the first thing I can recommend to you is, if you're feeling a bit down in the dumps, pop another joy. Everybody wakes up feeling a little bit down sometimes. I call it waking down. And all you need to know is that you never have to feel bad about feeling bad. In fact, you don't have to put up with it at all. Being in Wellington Wells means never having to say, I'm sorry. Now, thanks to modern English science, we have the perfect fix for the blahs. Never be afraid to up your joy. Only you know how much you need, or just ask a doctor and he'll fix you right up, even if you've got to ask him to. But look, there are some things that joy won't fix, though it will certainly make you feel better about them. Let's say you feel perfectly happy, but you're just having a lot of trouble getting out of bed. What could it be? Ask yourself a few questions. Do you feel pain in your bones? Are you having trouble catching your breath? Do you find that you bruise easily? Are your teeth a little loose in their sockets and you're under 70 years old? Is your mouth often dry? Do you have scorbutic tongue? Other symptoms you might have are red or purple spots of the skin, especially on your legs that look like this. Do you find your muscles are sore even when you haven't been overusing them? Well, you may have scurvy. And congratulations, this is one of our traditional English enemies, and like all traditional English enemies, we've beaten it before, yes, and we'll beat it again. As you know, England has traditionally ruled the seas. Rule, Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Britons never, never, never shall be slaves. And that means that our ships have traditionally been out at sea for long stretches